its collaborative potential with Glue, the ultimate virtual extension of your workplace.
Yes, okay. Hey, thank you for inviting me and the Glue collaboration here. So we are a virtual platform allowing people to join in the same virtual space to meet, work and collaborate. And we aim to create such a experience that is the same as here in face-to-face real world. And we are a universal platform, meaning that we support all options to join there with your virtual headset or even with a desktop. Thank you.
Thank you, Jani. And next, Virtual Dawn video.
So, hello everybody. I'm Antti Martikainen from Virtual Dawn, and you saw one very amazing and powerful way to show dishwashing simulation. You know, that was kind of a very cool spot there. But nevertheless, our great aim is that we are going to democratize learning and education using virtual reality. And in the future, we are going to empower people to create content which is high quality and complex in virtual reality metaverse. I'm not saying we are yet there, but we want to give it life and let the community take the care of the rest. And people can also start to earn when they are serving our business-to-business clients. So essentially, we want to make developers like us irrelevant and just let you to take over the future metaverse. Thank you.
Thank you. And next, Wonda.
Kokemuksissa opiskelija harjoittelee elektroniikan perustaitoja erilaisten kytkentöjen rakentamisen ja mittaamisen avulla. Kokemus alkaa oikeiden työvälineiden valinnalla. Tehtävän anto aukeaa uputetun linkin kautta toiselle välilehdelle. Aluksi opiskelija valitsee tehtävässä tarvittavat työkalut ja komponentit. Kokemus koostuu kuvallisista testeistä. Väärä vastaus antaa lisätietoa, kun taas oikein vastaamalla pääsee eteenpäin. Virtamittauksia varten mittarista valitaan oikea alue ja jännite, jonka jälkeen mittausjohdot kytketään mittariin. Kytkentälevystä valitaan oikeat kohdat mittausta varten. Mittaustuloksia käytetään laskuissa, jotka aukeavat uudelle välilehdelle. Lopuksi opiskelijan tehtävä on siivota jälkeensä ja lajitella harjoitustyössä syntyneet roskat oikeisiin jäteastioihin. Kokemus päättyy siivottuun luokkahuoneeseen, jossa opiskelija näkee vielä kokemuksessa saamansa kokonaispistemäärän.
Thank you. So I'm Arnaud, the founder and CEO of Wonda. So what we just saw here is a screencast of an interactive 360 experience that was produced and created at Keuda with the help of 3D Bear, who has been our partner in Finland for about 3 years now. And so I come originally from interactive storytelling. I started in interactive documentaries, and I've been interested for the last maybe 20 years or so in how you can create stories differently using the power of the internet, of two-way communication. And so I started with interactive video, then moved to interactive 360 video, and now interactive immersive worlds. And Wonda is a solution that we launched 4 years ago that empowers pretty much anyone. It's very easy to use. It's web-based, so you don't need to install anything. And it allows students, instructors, and pretty much anyone working in communication and learning to create their own interactive experience. You can import any kind of content and add your own interactive scenario and publish it on all platforms. So very happy to be here and excited to join the discussion.
Thank you. And we start that way that I will ask a couple of questions. We go around and then we go further on. The first question for all for you is what are the pedagogical strengths of your own VR platform? What, for example, if I start, for example, Antti.
Thank you. Well, the greatest, strength that we have in pedagogical terms is that it's not up to us. So practically, we are evolving every day. When people are using our platform, we gather data, and when teachers at education institutions are working with us, it becomes better. So practically, we are just gathering information and filtering it and giving it forward. So the best thing is that it's not up to me.
Jani.
Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, in Clue platform, we have a lot of universities and polytechnics using our platform at the moment. I would say in teaching and in learning, it's super powerful to feel the presence of others, your sort of student friends, and of course the experts or the teachers. We can invite experts from all around the world to join us in that same space. Of course, the virtual space also can be a learning object. It can be a space from real world, or it can be from history. And naturally, we can also import 3D models and work with those and create really customized training modules if needed. And we have done that already. So yeah.
Thank you. And Arnaud.
So I would say Wonda is every platform has its own recipe. I would say one of them is for Wonda is that we've been working pretty hard in making the platform very, very easy to use, and I think every universities that have been using the platform praise it for the ease of use, the ease to deploy, the ease to create, so you don't have to learn all the things again, which is, I think, very important today, specifically after the COVID period, where a lot of teachers had to learn many new digital tools. And the idea of not having too much of an effort to learn a new tool is important. I think the second thing is that it's very multi-use case, so it's open-ended, so you can explore the possibilities, whether you want to do an avatar-based experience, or you want to do an interactive 360 experience, or whether you want to work on a digital twin, or you want to work on something which is more like a classroom experience. You can test all these ideas very easily. And then it's very collaborative in a way that you can define workspaces in a way where student instructors can work together or separately, where in a very open and free way. So, yeah.
Thanks. And we can start from you. The next question. Can you tell shortly one possible learning success case you can maybe share with us?
Yeah.
Wonda.
So I think we have about 20 20,000 experiences that have been created with the platform so far. And from small colleges in Houston to Ivy Leagues, universities, and big enterprise companies. One of the use cases I really like, for example, is a student-based project that was conducted at NYU, where students were asked at Gallatin School of Interdisciplinary Studies to investigate the history of indigenous history of Manhattan in New York. And to do that, instead of doing a PowerPoint or a paper like we could have done with other tools, they were asked to produce a world that would explain and demonstrate whatever their findings were on the history of Manhattan. And so they went, they used many different media, and they created this interactive presentation that then they shared with their teacher. I think and they managed to do it in I think it was 5 2-hour classes, so in a very short time.
Yeah, thank you. And Jani?
Yeah, I would say one of our public references is from Boston Consulting Group, the Platinum team. They hosted a hackathon for 50 students, and during the whole weekend, I think they spent a total of more than 50 hours in our platform to create ideas, to work in workshops, and they were really happy about that. And this use case can be found from our webpage.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. Antti?
Well, for personal level, what warmed my heart the most was when they told me that one student didn't want to stop playing, for example, of a storage worker simulation. So in a very small level, that really made me feel good, because, yeah, it's so amazing to learn storage work that you don't want to stop playing. But for the future, our greatest success story, I think, is one piloting project, which we did with a school in France, students from there, and they were using our creation tools to create content, and that was awesome. With very little knowledge of Unity, they managed to do very awesome stuff, which we are going to publicate in near future, and that really made us believe.
Thank you. And now the last question from me, last one, and very shortly, please. And we know that the VR environments, they look very different, maybe in 2030s. So if you were, Antti, the director of Meta, what you will build first? Because you can build everything, of course, but where you start? You are the director of Meta.
I'm the Meta Master, yeah. Well, if I would be the Meta Master, I would make it a bit of anarchy, in a way. Yeah, I mean, one of the reasons why I like virtual reality is that we can make it whatever, so we shouldn't replicate the mistakes we do here. We shouldn't have avatars, don't worry, they were important. But if I could choose, we wouldn't have other representation. We would be something we would like to represent. No face, no nothing. It would be a completely different reality, which I would breathe to life and let the community take care of the rest. You know, let it look like what we are. If it's ugly, let it be. If it's beautiful, great.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Antti. That was a good idea. Yeah, I would be more concrete on if we need more easily use the user interfaces, user experience for the classes themselves. So it would need to be much more easier to join into virtual reality and augmented reality. So you can choose which one you want to use in the same class. So that's what I'm waiting for the next.
Yes. No.
It may not be the easiest thing to do, but I think I would do it, because if Meta doesn't do it, I think it may be a very big problem in the future for their own sustainability as a company. But I would launch a major initiative to educate people about what digital data is about, and be at the forefront of this evangelization to change the course of this company as the evil company regarding data, which is kind of a situation right now. Because they are building great headsets, but if they don't deal with the data correctly, no one is going to use them. And so it's lots of money spent and wasted, and lots of data stolen.
Yeah.
So let's change that. Yeah.
Thank you. And Risto, your state.
Okay. I would like to ask a few particulars, and they don't fit to your existing products in a similar way, differently. I appreciate each one's approach and uses, but in learning, remembering is very crucial, and we tend to remember stories. And in stories, there is a person, there is a place, and there is an event, which are the core of stories. So, and time. But the places, how do you see the role of a particular space in supporting this remembering and learning? Let's start with Arnaud.
Yeah. So coming from visual storytelling, I always have been fascinated by architects and people building spaces and 3D spaces, but only recently started to work with architects, and now architects are part of a team in Wonda. Definitely, for me, a space is a media for stories, and any architecture, even this environment or any kind of environment with a little bit more history, has a storytelling component to it. So place is very much part of the storytelling. What I like about places, and I think this goes a lot with the success of games like Minecraft or Roblox, and is that it's really fun to build places. I used to play a lot of Legos. I now play Legos with my kids. I understand why people love to build things. And building places is a great engine for motivation. And it can help, like, to design what was Versailles, in the 18th century as a student is a great project-based learning experience that, and that is going to be possible in the metaverse, and I think it's a great advantage.
Yeah, I would sort of bring up the idea of what any memory coaches tell you, to build your mind temple and put those things inside the cellar of your mind temple, in a bedroom of your mind temple. And now in a virtual reality, we can create such kind of space where we can sort of link the memory of learning something into that area or that space. And since there's no limits in virtual reality, like Antti mentioned, it could be super beautiful, it could be super sort of scary place, but still the memory sort of learning and memorizing stuff in virtual reality, it's very strong. The experience is so strong that I really emphasize on spaces and visuality.
Yeah, I had the time to think about it. So let's put it this way, that VR is very much in infancy, and we are still learning what are the best ways to use it. I believe that, spaces and other things make a lot of difference, but what we are doing right now is, for example, that we are testing this. There are some simulations we have removed everything, you are in space, and you concentrate only on the topic that's important to you. And then we compare it to situations which give you highly immersive impacts. So I would say that I can give you a better answer after a year or two, but I bet it has its place.
Okay, yeah. I have experimented some with where I have a narrative for a long period of many different events in the same, starting always from the same place. And then the presentation I gave here, I didn't have any central space, but I just jumped from one place to another, and I still don't know which is better. But another question is that when we are now talking about metaverse, how do you feel the core idea of metaverse, that you can transport stuff, things and places from platform to another?
I think that's
briefly.
Okay, that's crazy essential. I wish all of us would exist in the same big galaxy where we all are. Interconnectedness, bringing stuff in and out, super important with many different methods.
yeah, I can only say that the metaverse, the idea of metaverse is something that we should aim for. But yeah, it still needs a lot of standardization and to make it happen. But yeah, I'm waiting for that I can jump from place to place.
Yeah, and maybe like the connection between, I mean, I consider the metaverse as not being digital only. So for me, the metaverse is a way is meta reality. So it's part of reality, and now it's a question of how do you bridge the virtual and the physical world. And I think that's interoperability is the most difficult one to do properly.
Okay, the last question is about games having first-person view and third-person view. Both are strong. And how do you feel the question? Because I feel that our mirror neurons give strength to also third-person view. You start, Arnaud.
Sorry, can you?
Okay, games have first-person view, which operates with VR glasses, but third-person view usually with online gaming.
Yeah, we at Wonda we do mostly first-person point of view, and so you never see your avatar even from behind. I've never tried any VR experience like with a VR headset, a VR wearable headset. So that works in third-person view. So for me, it's kind of the common denominator between VR and mixed up.
I would agree on that the virtual reality, the experience, it requires first-person view. But if and when you want to join spaces, virtual spaces with the 2D display, then the third-person view, of course, it might be even easier to manipulate your avatar.
Yeah, I definitely think that the first-person view using fully immersive virtual reality experience is like way better than the 2D screen in a way. And putting it third-person there, I'm not sure how much does it give benefit.
Yeah. It's the only question is the mirror neurons giving me physical feelings from what I see, which doesn't happen in first-person view.
Yeah, but I would like to see the study about it if you compare a virtual reality first-person to 2D and so on.
Okay.
Thanks. Thank you, panelists. Thank you. Thank you so much. And we continue. Our program continues with Microsoft's Harri Mikkanen, who says,